Good evening, Al. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Kant. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So, day three of the SA20 series. Already, we've had a fantastic start.
Yeah, it's been a couple of good days. And interestingly, we didn't have Brevis and Ferreira, but still our team was too good that it won a lot of our subscribers, 2.5x of their investment in the in the daily fantasy platforms.
Yeah, how good was Ferreira? And we spoke about Romario Shepard's ability
Mm,
to clear the boundaries.
yeah.
And, it's thanks to them they posted such a big score, which is almost 40, 50 runs above the par score.
Mm.
But they could do it only because of those big hitting capabilities against spin.
Yeah. After a point, they didn't have enough pace in their bowling unit to get rid of both Ferreira and Romario Shepherd. It was largely a one pace bowling attack. Someone like Nandre Berger could have made a difference, for example, because he's a left armer who could hit the deck hard. But without him, they really struggled in that part. So which was easier for someone like Romario Shepherd, who pummels anything that's bowled at 135 at 130 kph. So it was really it was such an exhibition of power hitting.
Yeah, it was like amazing, out of the world. But how good was Maharaj, coming in, opening the bowling and picking up a wicket in the first over itself?
Yeah, we did expect Maharaj to wreak havoc. He didn't quite wreak havoc, but he did well enough to give us a lot of points. And he could have got Donovan Ferreira too. The one sweep that he tried that went over the first slip. So that was a miss. And if they had sealed the game at that point, it would have become a completely different game. The whole thing could have turned out into a low-scoring encounter.
Yeah, they were four down, not for much. And
Mm.
Subrine kind of picking up two quick wickets
Yeah.
of Gregory and Verne, Verena.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
Verena.
Mm.
I'm still getting used to saying this.
Arena look good in
And
his shots.
Superstar did Superstar.
Mm.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Varane did look promising in his short stint, and it was once Subryan came in. It was also good to see Faf du Plessis, despite being in the last few years of his career, last few months even, you could say that a couple of years of his career, he's still good enough to handle these kind of attacks and these kind of decks. Shows his experience, shows his skill set, and the experience that he has got having played a lot of his games at Chepak.
Yeah, and again, Maharaj coming into play, picking up, he taking both the catches of Subrine. And it was good to see the first three. We spoke about Maharaj, and then the first three, dismissals on the scorecard all had Maharaj's name.
Yeah, he took a lot of catches, and catches get you a lot of points in most daily fantasy systems. 8 points for a catch, so that's crazy.
And today, seeing the name of Muthuswamy in the squad, sometimes
Mm.
I'm starting to wonder if I'm watching Chennai 28, not SAT20.
It's just funny names,
Names.
and
So QDK was superstar, right? So went to show how difficult batting was after QDK got out. None of
mm,
their
mm,
middle order batsmen were able to get going.
mm.
But QDK was fantastic.
Mm. We did talk about this in our preview to how the opposition lacks off-spin options, quality off-spin options to counter Quinton de Kock and Kyle Mays. The part-time options they had limited them, but maybe a better one, someone like Imran Manak, for example, who is with Paul Royals, or even Simon Hammer in the opposition. He would have gone through their defenses yearly, and this could have been a lot easier for the Johannesburg Super Kings, but still the score 190 is just too big to have on a venue like that, and that eventually made a difference. Once Quinton de Kock was dismissed, even Heinrich Klaassen couldn't lay bat on ball.
Yeah, and from a fantasy perspective, we had cash prize winners who picked QDK on their FanX contest.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's something a shrewd play. So those who went with Quinton de Kock on the app got a lot of money, and I think to score 78 on the deck, that is a good day for him.
Okay, we again have another FanX contest today for a cash prize,
Mm.
cash
True.
prize pool of
Mm.
2,500. The
True.
winner takes home 1,000 rupees. We
Mm.
have only 35 slots left. So
Mm.
the thing is that you can go ahead and join the contest, and then after the toss, when the 11 is announced, Al will make his recommendations for the game, and you can always go back and edit it. So I'm just
Mm.
giving a shout out at the start of the show, so that when we are towards the end of the show, we don't
Mm.
have a situation where the all the slots are filled in. So just go to
Mm.
fanex.in, download the app, and then you will get 500 coins. You would have a free contest to join, and then you'll also see the contest today between Capitals and Eastern Cape, the games between Sunrisers, Eastern Cape, and Pretoria Capitals. Just have 35 slots left. All right. So coming back to today's game, let's talk about Sunrisers, Eastern Cape. They're playing a home game. Uh, I'm just making sure that I say the name of the Sport Elizabeth has been renamed to Gqeberha. I guess that's how you say it.
Yeah.
So they've been South Africa has been making name changes to cities, like how Madras became Chennai and Bengaluru and so on and so forth. And Gqeberha is the new name for Port Elizabeth, a beautiful city, and St. George Park is a fantastic ground. So let's talk more about Eastern Cape's home advantages. So obviously a track that aids slow bowling. So how good are the Eastern Cape's slow bowlers?
I think they do have enough spin bowling options. They may not be of the highest quality, but Mason Crane is coming off a good 100 season. He's a England domestic leg spinner, and he's also someone who is more suited to decks like St. George's Park, where batting is largely about attritional cricket. On flatter decks, he might struggle, but on a deck like this, he'll find himself at home. Likewise, they will also have the crafty left arm spin of John Smuts, who's literally made a career. He's sometimes, even though for a batting all rounder, his bowling presents a lot of value. And against right handers, he'll be a really difficult option for right-handers to negotiate on decks like that. And they also have a couple of off-spin options as well. Markram and Stubbs, who have proven to be handy in the last year, bowling on decks like this. So while they may not have any highest quality option, they still have enough decent options to work with on a deck like this.
Yeah, interesting. You mentioned Smuts as a a potential or a fantasy potential today.
Mm,
We'll talk more about their batting
mm,
in a short while. But I really love the the run up and the delivery stride of Marco Janssen. He looks
mm.
like a taller, slower Wasim Akram when he bowls around the wicket.
Yeah, we also have two versions of him this season. So Duan Johnson is pretty much the same.
Yeah. So yeah, so talking little more about their bowling options, you do have pretty much a tight bowling group. Their economy rate is not too high, but probably they're lacking a little bit on the experience side.
They do, yeah. And the real strength for Sunrisers is the middle order that has Markram and Stubbs at 4 and 6, and even someone like Tom Abel and Jordan Cox are capable batters of all types of bowling. They could play spin well, they could play pace well, but in terms of bowling, they do lack in experience. When Jansen is great potential but still young, Cars great potential, still young and expensive. Magalla older but has always been in the fringes of national selection, but still unreliable. He's in great form. He's in good form, that's for sure. But he's always someone seen as someone who's unreliable. He could go for 4 hours, 60 runs. On some days, he could pick up 3 wickets, and so that's the kind of unreliability that they are dealing with.
Yeah, so that's good to know. But and looking at the batting side, they have, like you said, the middle order is quite strong. But talk to
Mm,
us a little bit about Herman. He seems to get stuck out there in the middle. Average 26 balls per
mm,
face per innings. His
mm.
strike rate seems to be a bit on the lower side, but probably that
Mm.
would work to Herman's advantage. At St. George today with the slow wicket. He could play in those 30, 40 balls and score 50, 60 runs.
Herman is a powerful left-hander, young, very talented, and exciting. He could someone like he could remind you of someone like a combination of David Warner and Graham Smith, stocky, powerful, and could capable. He's a potential superstar in the making. So this is one of the interesting things for me today to see whether Sunrisers unleash him right away. Play Jordan Herman in place of the experienced Sarel Ervi, whom most of them are expecting the senior player to take the spot. But I think the top order would be better served to have someone like Herman playing in it, because already they have John Smith, who is getting older, and Adam Rossington, who doesn't have form on his side. So he needs some kind of an X factor in the thrown in the top three, and that I believe will be Jordan Herman.
Uh, what's interesting, no, but given Herman's ability to play, longer innings, do you think like Drewel Brevis, Sunrisers might spring a surprise by making Herman open with Hervey, even though both of them are left-hand batsmen?
I think if at all they choose to go in with Herman, Ervi is the one who will get dropped, and he might get paired with either Rossington or John Smith. It depends on which of the overseas wicket keepers they want to have. If Jordan Cox comes in, I think he'll play in the middle order. If Rossington gets a nod, Rossington had a great 100, and he's an interesting player, a very useful player. Only problem is his form, but if he plays, he'll be opening with Herman.
Good to know. So you want to go through some of your creator notes that we've already not discussed. We did talk about John Smart's
John.
value.
Mm. And
Yeah,
Cox
so
versus
I like
Herman
that
as well,
pick.
we discussed. Huh, yeah.
Yeah.
Engine room also we have discussed with Markram and Stubbs. They also have Jansen who could hit the long ball. So Tom Webel's availability is a huge blow for them, because he was initially destined to play the whole tournament, but he was picked by the England Lions squad, and he'll be leaving after the first 4 matches. And in which case they'll still have a capable replacement, which is what interests me about the whole squad. They have enough depth there to have someone like Jordan Cox warming on the benches, who's one of England's best young players of spin bowling. This is not something you'd hear a lot when you talk about England. So someone who could come in and sandwich Markram and Stubbs' power and work around like what we saw with Varane. Varane showed signs of it, of being able to access areas that other players may not have access to. Play it square, play it behind the wicket, and score all these sort of funny runs that makes opposition bowling unit a nightmare for makes him a nightmare for opposition bowling units.
So thanks for that. And we did discuss about Herman already. Stocky left-hander with all the power in the world at the age of 21, potential superstar in the making. So I'm really excited to watch Herman bat today.
Yeah, there are reports that he might be unavailable because if he's dealing with an injury. But if he's available and if he's fit, wow, this is one of the things that I'm looking forward to watching in the game today.
So your voice sometimes gets uh, you know stuck between words. I think it's because of my internet. Maybe like yesterday, if you can also go off video, Al,
Mm,
I think
mm, mm.
the audio would then come out a bit more smoother. I apologize.
Okay, I'll try. So stop video. Okay, gone off the video.
Thanks, Al. So now let's go into the team sheet of Pretoria Capitals.
Mm,
Uh, And obviously, lot of batting firepower there, high strike rates, consistent ability to play 15 plus balls, through the top seven, eight batsmen that we are seeing here. But who are the key highlights? So Riley Russell, is it the kind of wicket he loves? A little bit sluggish, where he likes to get stuck in and then start unleashing his big sixes.
The key for the only way that the Pretoria Capitals can win today is through their bowling unit, because the top order loves good batting wickets, and this is not going to be one of them. They hope that they have is the opposition bowling unit isn't high quality as well. But the trump card that they have, and they'll always have throughout the tournament, when Josh Little is available, is their bowling unit. To have Josh Little and Rich Nokia and Adil Rashid, it's going to be nightmare for opponents to deal with. And I think that's one of the reasons that the Sunrisers top order is in a lot of trouble today, because Little will be opening from one end and Parnell is decent. He'll contain at the other end even if he doesn't take a lot of wickets, and then they'll be followed by Andrish Nokia and Rashid. So there's a lot of problem for them in terms of scoring runs. It will be the onus will be on Markram and Stubbs to
Yeah,
take this quality on.
it's a pretty solid bowling attack. We saw how well Little performed in the World Cup,
Yeah.
and Rashid is quite a top-notch leg spinner. But this track, does it suit wrist spinners more or slow left-arm spinners more?
I think it's something that will suit finger spinners more, because it acts like it's a tired deck. You cannot really accelerate scoring. So leg spinners, if they miss their length, they can still be carted around. But finger spinners, it's not easy. But they'll have exceptional control over their length. So you'll still need to play. You'll still need to be supremely skillful and deliver it on the day as well. So finger spinners, I think it's a deck that supports them more.
And at Taunton, creating trouble for the batsman. Really would be exciting to watch Nokia, operate in the middle overs with Rashid bowling hand. So Tusal Mendes is on national duty playing the Sri Lanka series, right? So he's
Mm-mm-mm.
not available in today's.
Yeah, he's not available for today's game.
All right. So let's look at the creator notes and see if anything we have not discussed already. So Jimmy Neesham and Wayne Parnell are there, all-rounder options. But Jimmy Neesham does go for a lot of runs. He's
Mm.
expensive.
Yeah,
So we may not
and
see Jimmy Neesham really completing his 4 overs. Sorry, Al.
and he's not in form as well. Had a very poor BBL coming into the tournament, and this World Cup was disappointing too. So there's not a lot to expect from him in this tournament, as things stand now.
Yeah. So the next point is interesting. As the team's progress, there'll be 4 out of the 6 teams would make it to the knockouts. So the key players are Salt, Jackson, Russell, and we already discussed Josh Little, Rashid, and Norgia, Andrik Norkia as their bowling superstars today.
Mm.
Yeah, we discussed this point as well. Again, Norkia's advantage. This venue does support fast bowlers. Okay, I didn't know that.
This one is Pretoria's home, which is we haven't seen it yet. So this is more of a deck that supports new ball
Okay, this is
quick.
Pretoria. This is for Centurion. Got it.
True. Yeah.
Understood. So let's go and take a look at the match sheet. But first, straight, let's go into St. George Park. There is a team, batting first has a clear advantage. The par score is 160.
Uh,
So again, a deck which does not create many sixers.
it's I think it's St. George's
Yeah,
Park. I think it's get better for batting as the innings progresses. Favors the team batting second with 57 percentage of the teams that have batted first year in the 35 T20s have won the game in the last 3 to 4 years, I guess. Yeah, 53, 57, and 43. So your teams, I think, if they win the toss, I think they'll be looking at bowling first.
Okay, so the teams batting second, they have an
Mm.
higher win percentage. Sorry if
Yeah.
I said that wrong.
Nope.
So they're almost a 60-40 in the
Mm.
favor of teams batting second.
Mm.
But where I'm a little confused is that, the average first, it's a winning score, is
Mm.
157. Got it.
True. Yeah.
So the team batting second have 60% chances of winning if the
Mm.
team batting first scores less than 150.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other way to
I
look at
think.
it, right?
Mm.
Like
Mm.
147 is interesting
Mm.
score. Got it. Yeah, so let's look at the runs and wickets spread across the overs 1 to 6, 7 to 16, and 17 to 20.
Mm.
So obviously, uh, some runs that are available for the teams batting first till the first 10 to 14 overs.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for the team batting first to score, and I think as we speak, Aiden Markram has won the toss and decided to bowl as well, which is along the expected lines. They are hoping to cash in on the assistance that Quicks will have, new ball pacers will have in the first 6 overs, and then also use the fact that the deck is going to get better in the second innings.
Yeah, it was red. I don't know which color I was
Mm.
seeing. Yeah, the teams batting first, their run scoring is difficult. I
Mm.
said it the other way. That's what we were discussing, about the number of the par score on this deck as well. But teams
Mm.
batting second, they do have a challenge losing wickets during the last 4 overs. So it'll be very
Mm.
important for them to make sure that they have wickets on hand if they
Mm.
do end up scoring, chasing a big score.
True. Yeah, they'll need to make sure they'll need to make sure they get the opposition out for a decent score, something under 140, and do the lot of heavy lifting in the first 16 overs, and not leave a lot for the death, because then slow balls and paces could come into play and it could be chaos.
So you said the toss is already done. Let's see
Mm.
what trick was here. So if you have any voice bites from the captains. So Aiden Markram has won the toss and he said is elected to bowl first. Yeah.
Yeah, he has selected the ball first. Yeah.
So we're gonna have let's look at the bowling of Pretoria Capitals. They're gonna bowl second. So we just came off the discussion of Little Rashid and Norkia. So if they do end up scoring on a par score or a little above the par score, they have bowlers have their jobs cut out. So they have to make sure that they need to bowl really well, especially at the top, because that's where the batting is a little easier. But
Mm.
both like Nisham and Parnell, right? Both of them can go for runs at the top.
Mm. Yeah, I think the overseas players they've released the overseas players. For Sunrisers, it will be Cox, Abel, and Fuller and Crane. So Rossington is not playing.
Yeah. So that's what Markham says. Bowl first. Locals say it's better to chase down at night. We have stuck with our original 11. We aren't putting any pressure on Crane. Yeah. And Parnell says you would have bowled first as well. Typical St. George pitch. Two guys missing out on the 11th. Little is not playing. Okay, that's a big
Sunrisers.
news. And
So
Sean
Little is from
Swan.
Pretoria. Have they released Pretoria Capitals 11? Because Little is from Pretoria, no?
Yeah. I don't know if I let me go to ESPN Cricket Info. They've been updating the 11 faster compared to Crick Buzz for the
Okay,
last two
yeah.
games.
Josh Little isn't playing. Oh, that's a big blow. Okay.
Yeah, Josh Little isn't playing. So Cox, Abel, Fuller, and Crane are the four overseas players for Sunrisers.
Hmm.
Still waiting for the 11. So let me connect my phone, and then yesterday I was very successful bringing up the display from my phone. I did a bit of troubleshooting last evening. Looks like it works okay now. So let's see how it comes up. And just stop sharing my screen till I bring it up. So keep a close eye on us come out. Yeah, looks like my phone is going to connect, which is big news. So go to fanex.in. We just have 25 spots left. Uh, so as soon as the playing 11 is available, recommendations for the three players that you can pick to play the contest today. So let me see if I can bring up my screen in just 1 second. Is my phone coming up, Al?
Uh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, there you So let me talk to as you wait for the 11 Al. So let me talk through the Fanex contest today. So today the total prize pool is 2,500. So
Hmm.
the contest players pick contestants pick run score, dot balls. I think dot balls is a very good one for St. George
Hmm.
today. That will be interesting to see
Hmm.
who bowls the max number of dot balls and also wickets.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna go into the information icon to look at more details about this contest. Like I said, dot ball, run scored, and total number of wickets, and the prize payout. So we can have only 100 contestants today. We already have 75, 76 contestants already. The go home today. The first prize winner takes home 1,000 rupees. The second prize winner takes home 400 rupees. For the third spot, tied for three contestants, they take home 200 rupees each, total of 600. 6 to 10th, you have five contestants taking home 75 rupees each, and 11 to 15, five contestants taking home 25 rupees each. And remember, this contest does not cost anything to play. You can just go join the contest by joining with the coins that is given free for all the users who download the FanX app. The app is available on fanex.in. Just go to the website to download the app. So as we wait for the 11 to be announced, let's see. Joshua Little is not, so we need to change the pick for the dot ball. So let's go back and see if the 11 is announced. Not yet. And you were saying yesterday, Alex, because
Hmm. Pretoria
throughout the
Capitals
toss.
11 is out. Yeah, the weird rule that they have 13 and 11. So
Yeah,
the
both
entire
the
thing
levens
gets
are out.
tricky. Hmm. The entire thing gets tricky now because Pacers get assistance in the first 6 overs, and Pretoria Capitals is the one that has a good top order. So it could. We are in a position where we shouldn't be
Yeah.
selecting some of these top order players, but they are still the best options in play today. Pretoria Capitals 11 is
So
out on the.
Muthuswamy has made it into the 11.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Shane
So
Datswell,
I've
I think
just
we
brought
spoke
it
about
up.
him.
So Pretoria Capitals 11. Mm-hmm.
Shane Datswell is made to the 11 as well. We talked about him
Go
in
ahead,
our
Al.
preview. Yeah, Datswell is in the 11. We talked about him in our team pack. He's an exciting all round option to have.
That's great. And we also have Muthuswamy who's made it into the 11. We didn't discuss about Muthuswamy
Mm,
in our team sheets. Talk
mm.
to us a little bit more about this fantasy potential.
Muthuswamy is someone who could bowl with a steady, slow left arm spin, and I think that will be handy against this 11, which is full of right-handers. So that's something that could be useful to the Pretoria Capitals side. Whether or not he makes the 11 depends really on what the 11 which is said to be released. That's a problem. Even Aiden Markram is up struggles against left arm spin. Jordan Cox, who is in the side, also struggles against left arm spin. That's the only slow bowling option that he struggles against. So it's a good pick by.
Yeah. It's right. Just look at his economy rate; it's under six,
Mm,
and Saint George is something that assists finger spinners.
mm,
So Muthuswamy could come into play today, like Subrian did, and pick up a couple of wickets. It's a
mm.
quite a possibility.
True. I think he's slotted in the all-rounder side, which makes this little bit tricky again. They've only released Pretoria Capitals
Um,
11.
yeah. So want to make some player additions from the Pretoria Capitals 11. So this is a fantasy sheet. Uh, from the game sheet, this is a fantasy sheet. I have brought it up. Hopefully, you have access to that, Al, as you make changes
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
once the 11 from
yeah,
the Sunrisers is announced. Okay.
yeah.
So this is one very interesting part of this tournament. After the toss, you need to really wait for some time, and this is where I think Al's expert insights becomes critical because as a common player, if you don't know the playing 11 of both the teams till 5 minutes before the game begins, you have very little time to make any changes. For example,
Sunrisers,
if Sprang is surprised not playing.
Sunrisers 11 is out as well. So Sarah Lerby is playing. Jordan Cox is the keeper. Tom Abel is also playing. Rossington isn't playing. So
Yeah,
one, two, three, four, five. So Stubbs kind of becomes a sixth bowler there. So Phil Salt, Jordan Cox has an issue against left arm spin. Which makes it tricky. You'll have to select between Phil Salt and Jordan Cox. Keeps first. Sunrise is keeping bowling first. Okay.
so as you making your decisions, Al, I would talk about Bartman.
Hmm.
He does have, a very impressive record. Look at
Hmm.
his strike rate, 16, and his economy is 6.4. Somebody who's got really good pace, bowls his 3 to 4 overs consistently, and also 1.27 is a really good number when it comes to T20 for the average number of wickets per innings.
Hmm. I think it'll be good fantasy pick to count because they're bowling first, and it's a phase where pace bowlers get a lot of help.
Yeah, so Bartman could be since they're bowling first, he could be a good fantasy pick.
Hmm. Green, Rashid.
So
Okay.
let's look at Crane is the leg spinning option. Look at James but in terms of wickets, his average is less than one wicket per innings, and he's a bit expensive as well. Magala is another raw pace. He has a good strike rate. Is a bit expensive, but
Hmm.
he gets among wickets as well.
Yeah.
It's Magala, Botman, Marco Janssen, and Crane mainly their bowling options.
The biggest decision for us today is Phil Salt and versus Jordan Cox. That's what I'm deciding. Jordan Cox.
This is very
Cox.
we just have 18
I think
slots left now on the FanX contest, filling in. So I was just saying that Sub says that he hasn't seen Saint George so full. So definitely 2020, the SA20 series is already just the third game is already helping the stadiums get full and fans come in these numbers for their first season itself. And this tournament will only get stronger year on year thanks to the IPL teams' ownerships.
yeah.
So I'm going back to the fantasy sheet. Hope you have access to that, Al,
Mm,
so that when
mm,
you
mm.
make
Yeah.
changes,
Yeah.
I'm going to remove Josh Little, delete it, make it TBA after toss.
Markram, Stubbs, Jacks, Cox. Okay, I think I've selected my line 11 and I'll make the changes.
Yeah. So people who are watching Al in action, this is how it's how difficult it is for Al, right? So to wait for the toss, and we just have 10 minutes or 9 minutes to go for the start of the game, and these are the complex last-minute calculations the expert Al had to make. Then imagine how difficult it would be for a common
Okay.
man like me.
Adil Rashid, Mason, Crane, oh,
So if you
Batman. So what I'm picking Batman because Pacers get assistance up front. Parnell because his batting also could come into play. Johnson, mm, Muthuswamy. Again, another differential. The opposition lineup has a series of suspects against Aiden Markram, Stubbs, Will Jacks, and Jordan Cox. Captaincy, I'm going in with Johnson, and vice captain with Mason Crane. So I think our dot ball should be Jansen, and on Fanex, and our wicket taking could be either Crane or Jansen as well.
yeah. So I'm gonna go to FanX now. So since we have Al's final calculations in, so Mark Jansen as the pick for the dot ball, Al.
Yeah, yeah, Jansen.
So pick. Next pick is for runs scored. There are only 12 slots left. If you
Sorry, I think your voice is breaking.
can you hear me?
Yeah, now I'm able to hear you. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go back. So we've been making the changes on the FanX picks now. Alice, all the information that he needs. So for the dot ball, we picked Marco Janssen. For runs scored, who would be your recommendation, Al?
I think for the run scored, it should be Markram, safest bet of the day. Bats at the top, bats at a comfortable position.
Markram, and in terms of wickets, you said you'll go for Janssen again.
Mm, mm. Yeah, Jansen or Crane, both works.
Okay, let's go with Crane. And then that's it. We have made the changes to the contest. As you can see, we have only 88 spots left. Join the contest. It's a very smart, fun contest. You get to play with Al, with Al's recommendations, and the winner takes home cash prizes. So going back to the Fantasy 11. So Cox, Markram, Stubbs, Jacks, Parnell, Janssen, Muthuswamy, Andrik Norkia, Dil Rashid, Crane, and Bartman. Janssen is the captaincy recommendation, and Crane is the vice captaincy recommendation. So that's fantastic. Al, with that, we come to the end of today's show. Thank you so much. Sorry, Al, I pressed the wrong button. So I was just saying thank you so much for again joining this session for our viewers. Go to pre-seasoned app, download the app, and you can get access to all the information that we shared on this call by just subscribing to Covers Off on the pre-seasoned app. And just in a couple of
Yeah.
days, coversoff.ai will be available at our website
Mm,
where you can subscribe to our annual packs.
yeah. So it's for a launch in a couple of days. Thank you, Kam.
All right, Al, have a fantastic evening ahead. Enjoy the game, and I'll
Sure,
talk to
Kam.
you again tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, then. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Bye.